Hey guys, Neely here, and it is Wellness Wednesday, so I wanted to come in and give you an update on my weight loss progress and health progress, wellness progress, and diet and nutrition and all that good stuff. So I will jump right in. I guess I will point down and show you my weight log. It is not as exciting as the last couple of weeks I've shared with you, and I'll tell you about that. All right, so last week I told you I was 147.4. And then I went down the first day, but then I started going up. And I'll talk about that more in a minute, but I definitely went up a few pounds. And it was one of those things I kind of stopped weighing a little bit just because I told you I don't weigh unless it's exciting. I don't weigh every day unless it's exciting, and it started to not be exciting. So I stopped weighing for over the weekend. And then I weighed, and I was kind of just at the same spot, the 149 area. And then I was like, well, I wonder if there's something wrong with my scale. So I picked it up and I cleaned it, and I got all the fuzz off the bottom and all that stuff. And then you can see I went up like 3 pounds the next day. And since then, my scale has been up like 3 pounds. So as far as the numbers say, I am up 5.4 pounds in the past week. But I know that that's not all entirely accurate. I think probably some of these drastic numbers from the week before are not quite accurate. I think there was just something on the bottom of my scale, some, lint buildup or something, I don't know. And it was not giving me the correct numbers. I think I was going down, but just not as dramatically as this week said I was. 5.6 pounds in 1 week, that's a lot. And so I told you last week that I was completely shocked at the weight loss. And it turns out that it might not all be completely accurate. So my scale is to blame, I think, for like 3 of the pounds, but I definitely am up a couple of pounds, and I am not concerned about that. Of course, the huge weight loss numbers is really fun, and I enjoyed it while it lasted, but I knew that it was going to slow down. And also I wanted to talk in a minute about menstrual cycle and how that affects fat loss. And it kind of just hit me like a ton of bricks this month how accurate what I've heard about weight loss and the menstrual cycle was. Like literally, this is the day I ovulated, and then this next day I was up. And I'm gonna do a separate video about this because it's really kind of complex, and I really want to do a good job and have the information separate from this check-in video. But basically the first half of your cycle up until ovulation is when you're most primed for fat loss, and then right after ovulation, the 2 weeks after that is when you tend to hold more water, your mood tends to be worse, and weight loss is harder. And you can see I was actually blown away because I knew I ovulated on that day, and then the very next day I woke up and I was, 2.6 pounds heavier. So that was a really interesting lesson to learn, and I will definitely be talking about that more in the next video. So you can see today is actually Thursday. I'm filming this on Thursday because we did our once a month grocery shopping trip yesterday, and I just didn't get to my Wellness Wednesday yesterday, so I'm down a little bit more today. But as of yesterday, I was up 5.4, up 1.6% body fat, but still overall I'm down 10.6 pounds in 1 month. So that is really exciting. That's like 2.5 pounds per week, which is an excellent rate of weight loss. So I am super, super thrilled with that. Cannot be disappointed. And down 3% body fat. I also did my measurements again, and I think I'm going to do those weekly for a while. I did them on Tuesday. That's the day that I think I'm going to do them. I'll do them on Tuesday, and then I'll have them for my Wednesday update. But even with the pounds gained, I was still down 1.75 inches. It was like half an inch in my bust, half an inch in my waist, I think a 1/4 inch in my hips, a 1/4 inch in my right thigh. So definitely my body is getting smaller. I'm not worried about the pounds. Those fluctuate, especially at this time in my cycle. So overall, I am very happy with my progress. So I had said last week that I was gonna do pictures for this update, but I just did not get to it yesterday. And then this morning we were out early taking the girls to grandma's house, and I just didn't get to it again today. So I am going to try to do that. I think I'll do it in 2 weeks because that'll give me a 6-week progress picture, and really pictures, it takes a while to really see a good difference, and I just figure I'll wait. So as far as eating and how I've felt through this past week, there have been a couple of times where I felt my HEC go out of check. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. HEC is hunger, energy, and cravings, and I learned that from Dr. Jade Teta from Metabolic Effect and from his book Lose Weight Here. And it is just a gauge where you watch your body and you kind of think about your hunger levels, your cravings, and your energy levels. And as long as all those 3 things are in check, and as long as you're making progress towards your fat loss goal, basically whatever you're doing right for your body. So I have been paying great attention to my HEC, and there were a couple of times this week where my HEC was out of check. I think there was one time where I just let myself get too hungry, and then I couldn't recover from that, and so my HEC was out of check. And basically what I have been doing when I feel that is I will eat a crossover. And a crossover is a THM term, and it just means a meal that has healthy carbs and healthy fat together in the same meal. For the most part, when I'm trying to lose weight, I keep fat and carbs separate in different meals, and that's a THM principle. Also, Jade Teta talks about that in his book as well. And your body can more efficiently burn the one fuel at a time and then move on to your body fat if you're trying to lose weight. And when you eat carbs and fat together, your body just has a little bit harder of a time burning through the one, then burning through the other, and then getting to your body fat. So anyways, I try to stay in the just one fuel at a time range, but when I feel my HEC go out of check, the most satisfying thing for me is to eat a crossover. And I have found that when my hunger, energy, and cravings are out of check, I will not get satisfied with either a low carb meal or a low fat meal. I felt this really strongly when I was doing keto. I did keto for 6 months, and I got to the point where I could not get satisfied with a low carb meal. It's like I would eat and eat and eat of these low carb foods, and I'd eat way too many calories, but I never felt satisfied. And it wasn't until I added some carbs in that I was like, I just got that feeling of satisfaction and like full for, you know, a good 2 or 3, 4 hours between meals, whereas before I'd eat and then an hour later I was just craving and hungry again. And I found the same with the low fat meals. If I'm eating, low fat and a little bit higher carb for too long, I'll get to the point where those are not satisfying. And just what I found that works for me, this is just, me kind of paying attention to my body and finding what works for me, is I have to eat a crossover. And so there were, I think, 2 times this past week where I really felt that depletion and that lack of satisfaction, and I went ahead and I had a crossover, and after that things were good. So real quick, I wanted to talk about the menstrual cycle thing again, and like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on it with more detail, but just as it relates to this month, I told you that right when my weight started going up was right after ovulation, when I went into the luteal phase of my menstrual cycle, and that is the time where you have higher progesterone. I'm still learning all this, but have higher progesterone, which makes you more insulin resistant, which means you don't tolerate carbs as well, and fat loss is more difficult. And I think that was part of the reason that I had those times of my hunger, energy, and cravings being out of check. And so I think it's just has to do with my cycle, and I just need to make it through this time. Basically, I'm kind of relaxing on trying to lose weight right now in these 2 weeks of the luteal phase. I'm focusing more on low carb meals because, like I said, being in the luteal phase, you tend to be more insulin resistant, so going a little bit lower carb is helpful. So I have been doing more of my low carb days than my lower fat days, and then once I get into the other part of my cycle, I'll go back to what I was doing before, which was like 4 or 5 days of the low fat, lower calorie days, and then 2 or 3 days of the low carb days. Renee needed a little love and attention, so here she is with me. We're having a day together. Yes, you're a baby. And what is your name? Your name is Renee. Can you say Renee? Nene, yeah. Anyways, the big girls are at Grandma's house, and so it's just me and Renee at home today, and she gets lonely by herself. So anyways, I think that is my update. Things are just chugging along, and it's not a very exciting time as far as weight loss, but I still am in my size 6 jeans. I feel like I'm getting smaller still, and things are just going really well. So I can't complain, even though the scale is silly. I can't complain. I am very happy with my progress.
Bye.
I'm not saying bye yet, you goof. And also real quick, I wanted to mention that I got my Adrenal Thyroid Revolution book by Aviva Romm. I talked about this on my top 5 diet books, and the one I was looking most forward to, and this is the one I was looking most forward to. So I am excited to dive in. I haven't had a chance to sit down and start reading it yet, but I am going to be going on a women's retreat in a couple of weeks. And this is going to be on the top of my list of things to take so I can sit down and have some quiet time with no kiddos and read. So I'm really excited about this book, and I will definitely let you know how it is, and if I learn any exciting things, I will definitely share them with you.
Bye.
You are such a stinker. All right, so that is it for my Wellness Wednesday today. Look for the menstrual cycle and fat loss video coming up soon. Maybe I'll get it done today. We shall see. But I hope you guys are all doing great, and we will talk to you again soon.
Bye.
You won't even let me finish talking, you stinker. Can you say see you later?
Bye.
Bye.